Today, we will start with Chapter 15, Designing and Managing Integrated Marketing Communications. We will figure out the following questions. What is the role of marketing communications? What is the marketing communications mix? How do marketing communications work? What are the major steps in developing effective communications? How should the communications mix be set and evaluated? What is an integrated marketing communications program? In a sense, they represent the voice of the company and its brands. They are a means by which the firm can establish a dialogue and build relationships with consumers. By strengthening customer loyalty, they can continue to customer equity. Marketing communications also work by showing consumers how and why a product is used, by whom, where, and when. Consumers can learn who makes the product and what the company and brand stand for, and they can become motivated to try or use it. Marketing communications allow companies to link their brands to other people, places, events, brands, experiences, feelings, and things. The marketing communications mix consists of 8 major modes of communication. Advertising, any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor via print media, newspapers and magazines, broadcast media, radio and television, network, media, telephone, cable, satellite, wireless, electronic media, audio tape, video disc, CD-ROM, web page, and display media, billboards, signs, posters. Sale promotion, a variety of short-term incentives to encourage trial or purchase of a product or service, including consumer promotions, such as samples, coupons, and premiums. Trade promotions, such as advertising and display allowance, and business and sales force promotions, contests for sales reps. Events and experiences, company-sponsored activities and programs designed to create daily or special brand-related interactions with consumers, including sports, arts, entertainment, and course events, as well as less formal activities. Public relations and publicity, a variety of programs directed internally to employees of the company or externally to consumers, other firms, the government, and media to promote or protect a company's image or its individual product communications. Online and social media marketing, online activities and programs designed to engage customers or prospects and directly or indirectly raise awareness, improve image, or elicit sales of products and services. Mobile marketing, a special form of online marketing that places communications on consumers' cell phones, smartphones, or tablets. Direct and database marketing, use of mail, telephone, text, email, or internet to communicate directly with or solicit response or dialogue from specific customers and prospects. Personal selling, face-to-face interaction with one or more prospective purchasers for the purpose of making presentations, answering questions, and procuring orders. Table 15.1 lists examples of these platforms, but company communication goes beyond this. The product's styling and price, the shape and color of the package, the salesperson's manner and dress, the store decor and the company's stationery, or communicate something to buyers. Every brand content delivers an impression that can strengthen or weaken a customer's view of a company. Marketers should understand the fundamental elements of effective communications. Two models are useful, a macro model and a micro model. Figure 15.1 shows a macro model with 9 key factors in effective communication. 2 represent the major parties, sender and receiver. 2 represent the major tools, message and media. 4 represent major communication functions, encoding, decoding, response, and feedback. The last element in the system is noise, random and competing messages that may interfere with the intended communication. Senders must know what audience they want to reach and what responses they want to get. They must encode their messages so the target audience can successfully decode them. They must transmit the message through media that reach the target audience and develop feedback channels to monitor the responses. The more the sender's field of experience overlaps that of the receiver, the more effective the message is likely to be. Note that selective attention, distortion, and retention processes, first introduced in Chapter 6, may be operating. Micro models of marketing communications concentrate on consumer-specific responses to communications. Figure 15.2 summarizes 4 classic response hierarchy models. Or these models assume the buyer passes through cognitive, affective, and behavioral stages in that order. This learn, feel, do sequence is appropriate when the audience has high involvement with a product category perceived to have high differentiation, such as an automobile or house. An alternative sequence, do, feel, learn, is relevant when the audience has high involvement but perceives little or no differentiation within the product category, such as airline tickets or personal computers. A third sequence, learn, do, feel, is relevant when the audience has low involvement and perceives little differentiation, such as with salt or batteries. By choosing the right sequence, the marketer can do a better job of planning communications. To increase the odds of success for a communication campaign, marketers must attempt to increase the likelihood that each step occurs. The challenges in achieving success with communications necessitate careful planning. Figure 50.3 shows the 8 steps in developing effective communications. The process must start with a clear target audience in mind, potential buyers of the company's products, current users, deciders or influencers, as well as individuals groups, particular publics or the general public. The target audience is a critical influence on the communicator's decision about what to say, how, when, where, and to whom. Set the communication objectives. Establish need for category, establishing a product or service category as necessary for removing or satisfying a perceived discrepancy between a current motivational state and a desired motivational state. Build brand awareness. Fostering the consumer's ability to recognize or record the brand in sufficient detail to make a purchase. Build brand attitude. helping consumers evaluate the brand's perceived ability to meet a currently relevant need. Influence brand purchase intention. Moving consumers to decide to purchase the brand or take purchase-related actions. Formulating the communication to achieve the desired response requires answering 3 questions: what to say, message strategy, how to say it, creative strategy, and who should say it, message source. Message strategy is selecting message strategy. Management searches for appeals themes or ideas that will tie in to the brand positioning and help establish points of parity or points of difference. Some of these appeals or ideas may relate directly to product or service performance, the quality, economy, or value of the brand. Others may relate to more extrinsic considerations, the brand as being contemporary, popular, or traditional. Creative strategy communications. Effectiveness depends on how well a message is expressed as well as on its content. If a communication is ineffective, it may mean the wrong message was used or the right one was poorly expressed. Creative strategies are the way marketers translate their messages into a specific communication. We can broadly classify them as either informational or transformational appeals. An informational appeal elaborates on product or service attributes or benefits. A transformational appeal elaborates on a non-product related benefit or image. Message source research has shown that the source credibility is crucial to a message acceptance. The 3 most often identified sources of credibility are expertise, trustworthiness, and likability. Expertise is specialized knowledge the communicator possesses to back the claim. Trustworthiness describes how objective and honest the source is perceived to be. Friends are trusted more than strangers or salespeople, and people who are not paid to endorse a product are viewed as more trustworthy than people who are paid. Likability describes the source attractiveness measured in terms of candor, humor, and naturalness. You might expect one-sided presentations that price a product to the more effective than two-sided arguments that also mention shortcomings. Yet two-sided message may be more appropriate, especially when negative associations must be overcome. Two-sided messages are more effective with more educated audience and those who are initially opposed. The order in which arguments are presented is important. In a one-sided message, presenting the strongest argument first arouses attention and interest. Important in media where the audience often does not attend the whole message. With a captive audience, a climactic presentation must be more effective. For a two-sided message, if the audience is initially opposed, start with the other side's argument and conclude with your strongest argument. Communicators use negative appeals such as fear, guilt, and shame to get people to do things, brush their teeth, have an annual health checkup, or stop doing things, smoking, abusing alcohol, overeating. Fear appeal work best when they are not too strong, when source credibility is high, and when the communication promises in a believable and efficient way that the product or service will relieve the fear it arouses. Messages are most persuasive when they moderately disagree with audience beliefs. Stating only what the audience already believes at best just reinforces beliefs, while messages too much at variance with those beliefs will be rejected. Communicators also use positive emotional appeals such as humor, love, pride, and joy. Motivational or borrowed interest devices such as cute babies, frisky puppies, popular music, and provocative sex appeals are often employed to attract attention and raise involvement with an ad. The most credible source will score high on all three dimensions: expertise, trustworthiness, and likability. If a person has a positive attitude toward a source and a message, or a negative attitude towards both, a state of congruity is said to exist. But what happens if a consumer hears a likable celebrity praise a brand she dislikes? Charles Osgood and Percy Turnbull's belief attitude change will take place that increases the amount of congruity between the two evaluations. The consumer will end up respecting the celebrity somewhat less or the brand somewhat more. If she encounters the same celebrity praising other disliked brands, she will eventually develop a negative view of the celebrity and maintain negative attitude towards the brands. The principle of congruity implies that communicators can use their good image to reduce some negative feelings toward a brand, but in the process might lose some esteem with the audience. Personal communications channel lets two or more persons communicate face-to-face or person-to-audience through a phone, surface mail, or email. They derive their effectiveness from individualized presentation and feedback and include direct marketing, personal selling, and word of mouth. We can draw a future distinction between advocate-expert and social communication channels. Advocate channels consist of company salespeople contacting buyers in the target market. Expert channel consists of independent experts making statements to target buyers. Social channel consists of neighbors, friends, family members, and associates talking to target buyers. Non-personal channels are communications directed to more than one person and include advertising, sales promotions, events and experiences, and public relations. Integration of communication channels. Although personal communication is often more effective than mass communication, mass media might be the major means of stimulating it. Mass communications affect personal attitudes and behavior through a two-step process. Ideas often first flow from radio, television, and print to opinion leaders or consumers highly engaged with media, and then from those influencers to less media-involved population groups. How do companies set their communication budgets? We will describe four common methods: the affordable method, the percentage of sales method, the competitive parity method, and objective and task method. Affordable method. Some companies set the communications budget at what they think they can afford. Percentage of sales method. Some companies set communication expenditures at a specified percentage of current or anticipated sales or of the sales price. Competitive parity method. Some companies set their communication budget to achieve share of voice parity with competitors. Objective and task method. The most defensible approach. The objective and task method calls upon marketers to develop communications budgets by defining specific objectives, identifying the tasks that must be performed to achieve these objectives, and estimating the cost of performing them, the sum of these costs in the proposed communication budget. That's for today's session. Next week, we will continue Chapter 15. Thank you.